What up? This is Webb, Ibn Webb, Quran Assam here. Got this official thing going down here in Essex County all day edition here. Got another fan out moment here as far as who I got coming on here. Accolades through the roof here. Marc Brown, now coaching at New Jersey City State, head coach over there. But prior to that, just like beyond special as far as on the basketball court here, like from Columbia all the way to Siena to the pros, you name it here. Like I said, basketball's been his life, and he's made a lot of people proud and just a lot of fans too. And I'm one of them here. So like I said, I'm pretty much humble. Again, just folks just want to take some time out of their day-to-day with life being crazy, what have you here, just to kick it with your boy. So I'm just looking forward to chopping it up with Marc. So let's get to it.
Good morning, brother.
Hey, Marc, how you doing, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Hanging in there, bro. How's everything? Good.
Yeah, I'm Ibn Webb here, and I'm not sure if you might have talked to Marquise within the last week. I was able to catch up with him. So, but basically, what I just wanted to just take some of your time, and again, I appreciate the time that you're giving. And as I share with him, and I'll just share with you, pardon me if I get a little fanned out a little bit here. Reason I just say that is just because, again, when I started this, it was kind of one of those things. I wanted to do some stuff within like just my family. Then it expanded to like, just Essex County and, athletes that play ball or just done great stuff in Essex County. I mean, I started off with the sports kind of thing right here, and folks have just been like really, really like gracious enough to get on here. I mentioned obviously Marquise, there was Ira from Melvin Knight, you know what I mean? So I've just been taken back by everybody just willing to just share some time with me and go down memory lane or what have you, or just talk about whatever there is here. So thank you for just taking time out. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure, bro. My pleasure.
Yeah, so this whole thing with Marc Brown, how did it start? Now, are you from, obviously, I know you obviously went to Columbia, but before then, were you Newark, Orange, South Orange?
Yeah. I'm from East Orange, actually. Okay. I was born in Newark, left East Orange at 15 and moved to South Orange, and that's how I wound up at Columbia. Kind of worked out because I really didn't want to go to Essex Catholic, to be honest. So my brother, I have an older brother who went to Essex Catholic, and he played at NJIT. It was Division III at the time. He scored 1,000 points in 3 years at NJIT. But we moved to South Orange, man, and I was this is a funny story, actually. I thought I was in the wrong school, man, because coming from, being honest with you, coming from East Orange, I remember the first day as a freshman, I walked into the auditorium, freshman orientation. I'm definitely pro-Black, but I'm not anti-anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I saw a auditorium full of white kids. I thought I was in the wrong school. I came outside, and there was a brother sitting in front of the door. I said, "Excuse me, my man, could you tell me where Columbia High School is?" He said, "You here." So it was an adjustment for me just socially, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because you got to think about 87. I graduated in 87, but we moved in 85, 84, 85. So wasn't a lot of African Americans in South Orange, Maplewood at that time, you know? And it was funny, man, because we went through a lot when we moved into South Orange, man. We had racial epithets written on our home. My father was on the news. There was a lot of stuff going on in South Orange and Maplewood at that time. So it was culture shock for me, but I quickly adjusted, had a good career. As a freshman, I didn't really play. I played JV because we didn't have a freshman team. Mm-hmm. And the best thing that happened was the coaching staff changed. Tom Riley came over to Columbia. He was at Vailsburg High School at the time.
Okay.
Him and Lee Thomas was his assistant coach. Lee Thomas knew my father. My father played in the Rucker, played a lot of semi-pro ball, so he knew him. So once I got to my sophomore year, I was more comfortable with the staff. And, things kind of took off for me from there. I was fortunately one of the best years of my life. I was able to play varsity basketball with my brother. By the end of my sophomore year, I was starting, and I started as a junior, senior at Columbia. So, but I'm from East Orange originally. I'm definitely Essex County. I've lived in both. Yeah. I lived in East Orange, South Orange, and I moved to West Orange my senior year.
Okay.
I stayed in Columbia.
Now hold that thought for 1 second. Now, obviously, you come from basketball genes here. You know, I'm familiar with your father, as far as like just growing up. Was you given the ball like right in the crib, or okay?
I tell people this all the time. My father really wasn't the type to take me out, shoot with me, do individual stuff. I tell you what he did is he always, once he saw I was hungry to play, he always put me in situations where I could play. Okay. I kind of always played up. I've always played with guys a little older because my brother was a couple of years older. So he would bring me into Jersey City because my family's really from Jersey City. We grew up in Essex County, but my mother, my father, 90% of my family's from Jersey City. So he would always bring me to Jersey City on Saturdays when he was coaching Lincoln High School. Then he became the coach at Jersey City State, which is now in JCU. But I always played, and he always put me in positions to play. But he never really did the individual stuff. That wasn't big back then, But he always gave me an opportunity and put me out there, whether it was just kind of open gyms on Saturdays with older high school guys as I got into 8th and 9th grade. Started playing basically with adults when I was 15. So he did do that. He gave me the opportunity to kind of shine. That was his thing.
Yeah, and it sounded like you said, he didn't force it on you. Once he just saw you was with it, he just obviously knew what to do. Once you kind of green lighted it for him, and he just obviously knew where to go from there. Did you play any other sports, or was it just basketball?
No, you know how it was when we were young, man. I did everything. I pitched football, I played football. I didn't play in high school or anything, but Pop Warner, I played out, going East Orange. I grew up off First Avenue, borderline of East Orange and Bloomfield.
Okay.
So I played for Ampere Little League. That was the name of our team. I played football, but I didn't play Pop Warner, just street stuff.
Okay.
Recreation kind of stuff. But yeah, we grew up doing everything, man.
Absolutely.
Football, we did it all, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I gotta ask. I'm probably like the 1,000th person to ever ask you, so probably even more than that. Where the name Showbiz come from? I mean,
yeah, that came from a friend of mine at in high school everybody called me Biz anyway because of Biz Marquis. My name was Marc. So, but when I got to college, a friend of mine who I just saw a couple of weeks ago, Monty Henderson, he was our starting center at Siena.
Okay.
He named me that after pass and practice. Something happened, I forgot. So he kind of shouted it out and it's stuck ever since.
Nah, that's what it is. Because when I hear Showbiz, you my Showbiz. Never mind Showbiz and AG. You know what I mean? The producer, yeah. You my Showbiz. Yeah, I mean, much as I enjoy their music here.
Hey, I'm glad you know who Showbiz and AG.
Oh, come on now, don't sleep on. I'm good. I goes back. I mean, I goes back. So that's cool. So obviously you get over to Columbia. I know you shared a little bit about that too. So, and obviously all this AAU, all that other stuff start picking up. Did you wind up playing AAU a little bit or do anything in the summer?
I played for the Rams.
Okay, another one. Okay.
I played my junior and senior year for the Rams. Played for Mr. Wimley, Brian Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
Had a good team. Backcourt was myself and Eric Murdoch. Anthony Avon played with us. Marquise played with us my senior year.
Right.
He was a year younger. Ronald Twitty Water from Barringer. Had a good team. I played AAU. He saw me at a practice and just kind of brought me down. I made the team. North Wild it was difficult because I mean, if you talk to any of the older guys, they'll tell you everybody couldn't play AAU back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was basically New Jersey. In my era, there were two teams in the whole state. There was North Wide and the Road Runners.
The Road Runners with Sandy, right?
Yeah, you had to be kind of the cream of the crop to play AAU. There were a lot of guys that would try out on that one weekend. He'd have hundreds of guys in the gym, and then only a handful of us made it. So it wasn't like it is now. Every city and every neighborhood probably has 2 or 3 AAU teams now or travel teams, but you had to really be one of the exceptional ones to make AAU back then. So, and it was a good experience, man. A lot of traveling, a lot of good basketball, a lot of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of fun.
No, absolutely. And I just remember I played 13 and 14 down there, but just you mentioned like everybody just the who's who, like I would just get a chance, pray that my ride would come late so I could just sit there and watch all the older heads just kind of just do their thing over, just sit there and just watch, man. So yeah, no, I remember those times, man. They were special times. They're definitely special times. And then obviously you got a chance to play with your brother, but eventually he had to leave. So it was, kind of just rolled the ball to you, and it was sounds like it was go time from there.
Yeah, we had a pretty good team, though. I had a backcourt mate that was pretty good, Vinny Ryan. He was a shooter, tough kid. We had size, especially my senior year. We were one of the biggest teams in the state. We had center Steve Reed. He was 6'9", power forward. Marc Andrews was 6'7". For high school, that's a big front court. Troy Hill was a small forward at 6'3". Vinny Ryan was a 6'1", strong shooting guard. And then it was me at the point. We weren't real deep. But my junior, senior year, we had a lot of success, especially my senior year. We wound up winning our first 18 games. I think we got as high as 3 or 4 in the state. And then we lost, I think Orange beat us in the counties. In the semis quarters, we lost to Seton Hall, and then we lost in the state championship, state sectional final to Elizabeth. So we lost 3 games my senior year.
And I hear that Elizabeth game was one to watch. Yeah, that was a close one too, I believe.
Yeah, they cheated. I tell people all the time. Yeah, they cheated. Yeah, they fouled me out the game. It was at Union. I was upset. Yeah, I went berserk. They cheated. I played with Joey Johnson, Les Diella, Mo Morris. They were all on my AU team. I used to tell them all the time.
Yeah.
They cheated. The referee officiating was a joke. I told Kalikio that all the time. All the time.
Yeah. Now you had some decisions to make as far as, was Siena your first choice, or you had what other choices you had back then? I mean, I know
I really wasn't heavily recruited. They were worried about my size. That was the biggest complaint. PJ wouldn't recruit me from Seton Hall, said I was too small. My first scholarship offer was Utica College upstate. They were Division I at the time. And then Ted Fiore at St. Peter's offered me. When we came back from one of the major tournaments in Arizona, I started getting calls from some bigger schools. Clemson called, Alabama. But I went to Siena on a visit and fell in love with the program, with the coach, with the potential. It was a school that kind of had never been, well, kind of not. They had never been to a postseason. They had never been to an NIT or NCAA tournament. The following was unbelievable in upstate New York, because upstate New York is really only 3 hours from here. There's no major sports teams up in that area, so the Capital District kind of is Siena. The alumni stay up in the area, pump money into the program, into the community. So it was kind of an easy decision. They recruited me the hardest. They came to every single game my senior year. Mike Dean, my coach at Siena, was a former point guard. He knew who my father was. So it just kind of all fell into place, man. They showed the most love. And for me, it was kind of an easy decision.
Nah, good stuff. Now, you get up there, how was the transition for you? I mean, obviously you coming from, Maplewood, Newark, East Orange, just Jersey in general, to being upstate. How was socially and all this stuff? How did you adjust?
Yeah, it was tough. And I thank God. I think Columbia prepared me for a lot, because Siena is another predominantly white school. I was able to adjust to that part of it. But the Capital District, Albany, Troy, Schenectady, it's some urban areas, so there's stuff to do. It's a lot colder, even though it's 3 hours away. Upstate, as soon as you get up above the Hudson Valley, that cold is different. So that was an adjustment to winters. But we were so busy, playing Division I basketball. You're so busy, man. Your time is really dedicated to basketball. Between school and basketball, you don't have time to do much. Even when the off season hits, you're there for about maybe a month, and then it's time to come home for the summers. And that's one thing I never did, is I never stayed up there in the summer. I always came home.
But you got to get back to the crib for those Pro-Am games. That's
right, man. Legendary Pro-Am.
Yeah, absolutely. So when did you figure out this whole basketball thing was a business?
My senior year, when it was time for me to get drafted, and when agents started to contact me, and I basically went to 2 agents before the draft even came about. I thought I was going to get drafted. My size was obviously a big deterrent for a lot of teams. I had basically the head of NBA scouting, Marty Blake, say some things about me that kind of, I think, hampered my chance to get drafted. He called me a shooting guard in a 2 guard's body, which I never understood, because I had 796 assists in college. It just didn't work out. And that's when I realized that certain people, their words pull a lot of weight in certain arenas. And it was all about working. But I always had to work for everything. Nothing was given to me anyway, man. So I just put my head down and went to work.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna let it slip over to the pros just yet. I know that Siena career, I mean, that MAC conference, I mean, it was like you lit it up here. I mean, obviously, one game, and probably all of us remember, obviously, that big upset you guys had was against Stanford, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just going into it, obviously, what was y'all, like a 14, 15 seed, something like that?
Seed, they were the third seed. We were just excited to even be playing because it's funny with this COVID stuff that's going on. We played 9 games that year in empty arenas. We had a measles outbreak on campus.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so we had one player on my team that had the measles. We all had to get vaccinated, and basically the teams we played had to get vaccinated, and we couldn't have any fans. So we went 9 games to finish my sophomore year with no fans, including the tournament, the conference tournament at the Hartford Civic Center on ESPN, no fans. So we were just excited to be playing in front of people again. And then we had a large contingent that came down from upstate to Greensboro. And I would say Greensboro is probably a 13,000 seat arena.
Okay.
We probably had about 6,000, 5,000 in there. For a small school, that was a pretty big deal. So, like I said, we were just excited to be playing in front of fans again. It wasn't a good matchup for them. We saw it. They were kind of a slow down half-court team. We were an up pace, launching threes. The basketball that you see today, we played that style of basketball. My coach, Mike Dean, would get pissed off if you had a wide open three and wouldn't shoot it. So and it was just one of those days where the shots fell, man, and it just worked out for us in our favor.
Now, just even that whole selection, how was it? Was it selection Sunday? Just y'all didn't care where y'all went. I'm assuming y'all just wanted in. And
we did, what most teams do now. I think we went to our team doctor's house or something to watch the show. Had a meal, and my college coach Mike Dean was real excited about the selection because he had come from the Big Ten.
Okay.
He was an assistant for Judd Heathcote at Michigan State before he got to seeing the job. So he was familiar with the Pac-12 and their style of play. He was really familiar with Mike Montgomery and Stanford. So once he saw that matchup, he was excited. And he really thought we had a shot to beat him.
Because the year before you guys was at the NIT?
We did well. The year before, we were the number 1 seed in our conference and got upset. We thought our first NCAA bid was going to be my freshman year. We went 26 and we got upset in the first round of the conference tournament, went to the NIT. And that was our first postseason in the history of the school.
Yeah.
So that was an accomplishment in itself, but we were looking at the big dance as that next step, and we were able to do that the following year.
Now, after the Stanford win, like you guys, was it just like a big letdown the next go-around, or was it just kind of like you just met your match?
I couldn't make a shot. That's what happened. We lost to Minnesota. I think I went 1 for 10. I think, I was watching the game a couple of years ago. One of the Seton Hall kids broke a record that I'm not proud of. I think he went 0 for 10. It might have been Miles Powell. He went 0 for 10 from 3 in the NCAA tournament. And he broke my record. I was 1 for 10. So he could have it.
Yeah, I'm about to say he could get that.
That's one record he could have. Yeah, I think I would that was my worst game of my college career. I might have gone 3 for 17 for the game, 3 for 16.
Yeah.
And it was, I was in rhythm and shots just didn't go in. We wound up losing by maybe 7 or 9. And if I could have shot 30%, we probably would have beat Minnesota. And I think I was too excited because if we would have won that game, Duke had won the game before us. We would have come to Jersey playing Duke in the Sweet 16 at the Meadowlands. And that's all I could think of. So, I was too excited, man. So I wish I would give anything to get that game back.
Yeah, I know we all have them, man, and
all the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Then I know you talked about the pros. Marty Blake kind of just his sideways little report about you here, kind of threw things off or what have you. But but you don't let that stop you. You wind up just other choices came up as far as like overseas or other parts of the world here. So where do you ultimately go? Did you go to CBA first, or did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Once I didn't get drafted, because I actually, before the draft, went to Houston and they were talking about possibly taking me 20th. And they were talking about taking me in the second round. As soon as the draft was over, my phone rang. I went to Phillies camp and I thought I played real well. They didn't have much. Barkley's last year, they had Theron Mays and some other guys at the point. Johnny Dawkins had come off ACL surgery. They really didn't have a pure point guard. I played well. I knew Jason Williams from the Nets at St. John's. He was in camp. I thought I played real well. I thought I was going to make that team. They cut me. So I went to CBA. I did 2 years with Albany in Patchogue.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And my first year, I had a successful year, started. Was one of the top 3-point shooters in the league, made the All-Star game, did get one call-up. No, not one 10-day call-up. When the second year, and I just had enough, man. You know, I didn't want to deal with the politics. I had some overseas opportunities that I had turned down right out of school in those first 2 years. So I said, you know, it's time to go make some money, go play somewhere where I'm appreciated, where I'll enjoy it. And my first stint overseas was in '93 in Portugal. And I went from '93 to 2007 straight. Did Portugal, Venezuela, France, Brazil, and Mexico.
Just how was that experience? I mean, you got this little thing they call a basketball, then took you around the world, man. Like, just how was it?
Beautiful, man. I tell people all the time, I'm so blessed. When you really think about my life, man, I've done everything. I'm 51 years old. I've done everything that I've wanted to do in my life. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never been. It's funny. I go around my crew sometimes. I hear them complain about their jobs. I've been fortunate, man. I went from high school to college basketball to playing professionally in 2007 right into coaching. I've done exactly what I've wanted to do my adult life. So it's been a blessing, man. Been to some beautiful places, a lot of countries, because even within the countries you play in cups. So when I played in Brazil, I played in the South American Cup. So I would travel to Chile, Argentina, Peru, Venezuela, Uruguay, Paraguay. I've been all over South America, same thing in Europe. Fortunate enough to meet my wife in Brazil, which I'm sure is not hard to believe. Yeah. So, I did Brazil the most. I did 8 years in Brazil.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Place, man. Beautiful place, beautiful people, beautiful culture. But it's just been a lot of fun, man. And I was fortunate enough to be able to play and have that longevity without any major injuries, any major hiccups.
Yeah, that's great. Now, were you able even to get back to the States? I mean, or you just pretty much year-round was wherever you was playing at, you just remained there?
No, I would come home in the summers. I would get home. I was fortunate enough that I was always on a pretty good team, so we'd always be in the playoffs, finals, won a couple of championships. So I would get home in June, and I'd be home from end of May, beginning of June, right up to the end of August, September. So that was a good thing, too, to get home and be able to kind of re-immerse myself in the culture here in the States and being around family and friends for the summer, the good months, as I call it. You know, the 3 months, the weather here is warm. Everybody's kind of in party mode, so it was a lot of fun.
No, absolutely. And I know as your career was coming to an end, when did you just start thinking about the next phase, or did you already have that planned out?
Yeah, as soon as I hit 30, early 30s, I started thinking that coaching was going to be the next step for me. Obviously had some opportunities. My college coach was he went from Siena to Marquette to Lamar to Wagner. He was at Wagner at the time. So he was kind of in my ear about possibly joining his staff. My dream was to kind of join my dad's staff and kind of come and kind of learn under my father here at NJCU. I wasn't real big on joining the Division I staff, especially not a major Division I team, because there's so much traveling involved with recruiting. You know, I had just come from that playing overseas. I was trying to come home and, get settled. And didn't work out here for my dad because there's obviously nepotism laws in place here at state schools.
Right.
He'd be my direct supervisor. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to, be his assistant and coach and start my coaching career under his guidance. So it just kind of worked out. My dad was getting tired towards the end of my career. I played till I was 37, and we started talking about it. Maybe as soon as I hit about 34, 35, he kind of started putting the bug in my ear. Look, I'm ready to retire, man. Let's try to set it up so when you finish, man, you can, slide up in my place. A little nervous about finishing and going right into the head coaching spot, but I know the game, man. I've been around the game all my life. I've been around a lot of coaches. My college coach always calls me a hybrid of all my coaches. So I take ideas like most coaches do. I picked everybody's brain, and then I put my own kind of twist on things. So I was ready for the challenge, man. I retired in 2007 in June, and I became the head coach here in October 1st of 2007.
So you get going, you throw the coaching hat on, and how hard was it? A hard adjustment, just kind of just sitting down versus, being on that court playing?
Yeah, it was difficult, bro. It was really tough, man. People ask me all the time, what's tougher? Coaching is much tougher than playing. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with different personalities, dealing with the change of young people. We're from a different era, man. I coach hard, man. I put a lot of pressure on my guys. I'm not for everybody. This program is not for everybody, So that adjustment, just being patient, I think what I've adjusted to in this past 15 years is I've become a better coach because I'm a more patient coach.
Right.
My expectations, I've had and I won't name his name, but I've had a pretty famous coach in this college basketball world tell me, lower your expectations. Don't think like you think. These guys are not they didn't play at the level you played.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't get that at first, telling me to lower my expectations. But that's what I did. And that's become part of my main adjustment, is just kind of not expecting everything quickly also. Being patient, building a program. I was fortunate that my father already established a program. I came to a program and, I had some pretty big shoes to fill. So, that was pressure in itself. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to come and take over a program that hasn't done well. There's nowhere to go but up. But my father kind of had the program at a pretty high level. He made a couple Final Fours, won 5 NJAC titles. So that was pressure in itself, but it all worked out.
Absolutely. And I know the competition you guys play at that level is competitive. I know those guys that whatever fell through the cracks, wherever else, for whatever reason, some of those guys. But even, how do you do, as far as even with the recruiting and all that, do you just wait for people to come to you? Or, how does it work at that level, though? I know sometimes it's not people's first choice, so how does that work for you?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Division III is tough because we have academic money, but we don't have athletic scholarships.
Yeah.
So, especially with these young kids coming out of this AU culture, they all think they're scholarship players. Mm-hmm. So it's very tough, man. What I try to do is I sell myself. I sell my experiences, my knowledge. I have a great staff, Abdul Madison, Del Harris.
I know Ab.
And Ray Jean Paul from Elizabeth. So I have a great staff. They have a lot of connections, not just northern New Jersey either, but in the state. So I think that the biggest and most important thing is to surround yourself with a good staff.
Absolutely.
And then we sell ourselves, we sell the programs, and we're honest, man. We just kind of tell people what it is. And we let them know, too, that I know you think this is Division III, but this is really close to a Division II league, to be honest with you. The NJAC is really good basketball, and there's a lot of players in this league that can play at a higher level and has a great reputation nationally. And now it's getting even easier because I have a new athletic director who's coming from Rutgers. He played football at Rutgers. Mm-hmm. So he knows the grind. He knows what it takes to sell a program. He's made some adjustments here. Obviously we have now a state-of-the-art weight room, just little things, man, that you can at the division level sell a department. And these are some of the things we're doing, and it's making things a lot easier.
Nah, that's good stuff, man. How did you see yourself? You staying put there? You're not going anywhere else? You good?
People ask me all the time. It just would have to be the right situation. I've had opportunities to go away and some D2 stuff, but I feel good where I am. I'm making decent bread. Mm-hmm. It would have to be the right situation. I would never say, I didn't have these aspirations of being a Division I head coach, but if the right situation came along, if the right opportunity came along, I would definitely entertain it. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
How's it been, even the climate that we in? I know it's just crazy. Obviously COVID and all this racial injustice that's going on here. Just how has the university treated you? I know you mentioned you got a new AD, but just in general, how's it been for you just having to just maneuver? Obviously, the coaching and playing on the court probably sometimes is the easiest stuff when it's all said and done, but obviously that other stuff off the court here, how you been able to just maneuver everything going on?
Yeah, we've just kind of been in control of everything step by step. We have great leadership here, man. Our president, Sue Henderson, has been here 6 years now, I believe. She's an athletics person, so she's real in tune with what's going on down here in this building because our athletic building here at the college is separate from the main campus. We're in the John J. Moore Athletic Centers down the street. My team is made up of mostly minority athletes. So, and I'm a Black man, and I'm trying to help Black men go from boys to men. So I take that responsibility seriously. My father did when he was here. We run the program and created a family atmosphere here. So this was just a strange year, man. Limited games. We were fortunate enough to not have any COVID issues. And with all the, social issues that went on this year, man, we just always stayed in tune, communicated with our guys, let them know our doors open in case they ever needed to have conversations. On the court, things went well. We went 7-1. We won the NJAC title. Unfortunately, we didn't have an NCAA tournament, but we obviously would have had our fourth NCAA tournament bid in the last 7 years. So basketball-wise, things were a success, and off the court, we just were patient and was all kind of stayed in tune with what was going on and just kind of left the door open for any conversation. The real thing, I think, the real adjustment were guys not having in-person classes. I have some guys that struggling a little bit with the virtual learning because obviously that's what's first academically. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do in the classroom, you won't be on the court here.
That's right.
So it was an adjustment, man. We're kind of looking forward to kicking this COVID situation to the curb a little bit and getting back to normal next year.
No, absolutely. And I know you have two little ones, right? Two boys, or?
I have two boys. I have a 15-year-old sophomore at Union High School and a 9-year-old third grader. Yeah.
Now, your high school, both of them, rather, have they taken up sports at all, or they just stay away from it?
Both play basketball. My youngest plays basketball and soccer. That's the staying in the soccer.
Oh, yeah. Soccer's a great sport. Yeah. Now your boy, your oldest in the high school, he playing ball at Union?
Yeah, he played JV this year at Union High School. They had a good year. They were 10-1. They had the best record in Union County. It's funny because I was, he always was saying how he wanted to play for Coach Marquis at North Tech.
Yeah.
It can't happen. I told him, man, you got to go to Union. We live in Union, man, so we got to stay in Union. So he's looking forward to next year trying out for the varsity team, and we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. With sports, what is sports giving you that's stuck with you to this day? What is it giving you?
Just that work ethic, man. Discipline and the work ethic. I've always been a disciplined person anyway, even when I'm not participating in sports, but it just that work ethic and discipline, man. And that's kind of what I've used sports to kind of in all phases of my life, man. Here, just being organized, being accountable, all those things, man. And those are the things we try to teach these young guys that we have here in the program.
Nah, absolutely. And I think accountability, especially the majority of you guys, I mean, are they everybody from Jersey, New York, pretty much the surrounding states, or anybody from? Yeah,
I had one out of state. I've had a kid in my program as far as Puerto Rico. So I've had guys from Maryland. I've had some guys from down south a little bit, but the majority of guys are in-state guys. And all over the state, not just local Essex County, Hudson County, Union County. I have some guys from South Jersey, from Central Jersey. So it's a good mix.
No, absolutely. I mean, because you just talk about that accountability, and I think it's important. I mean, outside of once they leave you and everybody else, that's the rest of their life, whether it's family, whether it's finances, whatever the hell it's going to be, man, they got to hold themselves accountable in whatever direction it is. So I'm glad that's one of your big things, and I'm sure you can try to instill that in those guys as well. So, no, absolutely. Like I said, I'm grateful for the time, Marc. Like I said, I'm trying not to get too fanned out, because I can sit here and talk about your number of retiring. I can talk about you. Are you still the all-time leading scorer at Siena, or did somebody clip you?
No, I'm still there. I was number one in assists till a couple years ago. Ron Moore got me. He got me. I think they padded his stats a little bit. I don't know, man. I saw a couple games and they said he had double-digit assists, man. I saw a couple of those games. Didn't look like it to me, but
yeah.
Man, it's all good. Records are made to be broken.
Absolutely. And I know when you left, it was who was it? Points and assists. It was kind of a combination. It was only you and a couple other guys. I think it was like Sherman Douglas or something.
It's still that way. We still have that record. There's only 3 people in the history of the NCAA basketball that have 2,000 points and 750 assists. It's myself, Gary Payton, and Sherman Douglas. That's still a
that's still a record. That's still up there.
Yeah, that's a record I'm proud of too. That's some pretty quality company.
And they say you didn't pass, right? So and that's what's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And what would it be like if you was leaving Siena, graduating this year? You'd be first round.
Oh man, let's not even talk.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I know I don't want the young boys to think I'm hating, man, but it's oh man, the game is so much easier now. It don't even make sense, man. You can't hand check, you don't play no D. Oh, the game is so much easier, man. No 5-second count.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier this game, man. And it would be fun, that's for sure.
And that scoring guard the way you were, that's so acceptable now.
That's right.
It's like crazy.
And smaller guards. You got to remember, I came out of college in '91. Teams were looking for bigger guards then.
Mm-hmm.
So smaller guards, obviously, you got to thank people like Allen Iverson and people like that for making that happen. But the smaller guards are, it's a thing now. Be a smaller, quicker guard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm gonna just put you on the spot a little bit before we head out. Like I said, I know you ripping and running, so I appreciate this time here. So, obviously being down there, what we doing when you in the whip here? We going Parkway? We going Turnpike?
Parkway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know they done took them tolls down, so you can flow a little bit more.
No trucks. Parkway.
That's right. Key. That's right. No truck.
Yeah.
So we going. Obviously, I keep you over in South Orange here. It was South Orange Ave for Valley Street.
South Orange Ave, a lot more going on. Yeah.
Yeah. You need a night out. Where we going? You going Sensations? You going Bogies? Where we going?
Down the hill, right?
Yeah.
Right. So say that again. Sensations.
Sensations or Bogies? Where we going?
Oh, Sensations, man. I see you say Big Daddy. Sensations a little more dangerous. But we gonna say so Kane. Sensations.
So Kane there, okay.
Yeah. A few shows Sensations back in the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, nah, that's cool, man. Columbia or Siena?
Siena.
Any reason why?
Siena, just next level. Was a step up. Yeah, it was a step up. Siena.
Mm-hmm. Best game you ever played in your life on any level?
Man, that's a good one. You
don't necessarily have to be for points, reasons, whatever you just consider your best game.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. Because we had some great stuff. Now I would have to go my senior year, senior night. Senior night against Fairfield in about 27 minutes. I had 44. I probably could have had 6. Yeah, with 15 for 19 from the field. And Mike Dean took me out because he didn't want to run up the score. But he wanted me to get the single game season record, which was 42. That was the best night. Yeah, that was the best night.
You said against Fairfield. And
Fairfield. That was in 1991.
Interesting. You mentioned that. I had I'm up here in Connecticut now, and actually somebody that I know, he's probably was on that team, so I'm definitely going to send this to him.
Who's that?
Scott Statulik. I don't know if he played. Yeah. No, I mentioned that. Yeah.
So Hargrove was the coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
So so I'm gonna mess with him, send this over to him.
Gotcha.
But as far as best team you ever been on?
Best team ever been on? Oh, it's probably the Pro-Am team, the Celtics in the summer. Yeah, myself, Herman Austin, James Hargrove, Marquise Bragg, John Roberts, Neil King, Marvin Andrews. And I would stack that team up with my 2 CBA teams.
Yeah, crazy. Absolutely. Said that. Marquise said the same. He said the same. He gave the same answer for that.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, he gave the same answer for that.
Yeah.
As far as somebody who should have made it, whether it's to the league, whether it's college, just somebody who should have made it.
James Hargrove. James Hargrove from Patterson is one of the best guards I've ever played with. And I kind of helped him get overseas, but there's no way in the world he shouldn't have got an NBA look. And there's no way in the world he shouldn't have had a really long career overseas. He was that good. That's an easy one for me. Yeah. And not just because he's a friend. Hargrove was a 6'3", 2 guard that could post, could shoot, defend, go right, go left, finish at the rim. James Hargrove was one of the best players that ever come out of state New Jersey and doesn't get the credit I think he deserves.
Now he went to Patterson. Which Patterson he went to?
Kennedy.
He went to Kennedy, okay.
And then went to Duquesne. He finished at Duquesne.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So who's better, Marc Brown, the player, or Marc Brown, the coach?
You can give me some hard ones. Yeah, well, right now I would say the player. You know, I would say with the impact I had a great impact. I'm really proud of what I did at Siena and what I was able to help do, rather, because I obviously didn't do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But go to a program that had never been to the postseason, and in 4 years, start every game, started 124 games, and 3 out of the 4 years go to the postseason. I'm really proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of people hadn't heard of Siena, including myself.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, I attribute Mike Dean, my former coach, that helped putting that athletic, you know, men's basketball program kind of in the limelight a little bit. So I'm really proud of that. So I would have to say Marc Brown, the player.
So could Marc Brown, the coach, you couldn't stop him?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what I would have done. I would have forced me left more. You know.
Okay.
Thinking, being honest, that's what I would have done. But it's easy to say, hard to do, bro.
Absolutely. Nah, definitely.
You know.
It's a tough one, and you probably gonna leave some people out. But your all Essex basketball team from any era. That's on you.
Oh yeah, because I know a lot of the old school guys. So you talking Cleo Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie,
you can put any. Yeah, you can. No, again. That's the fun of it. You leave some people out.
That is tough.
Who your guards? Who your guards?
Cleo Hill is definitely one of them. Mm-hmm. Cleo Hill, senior,
yes.
Not that Cleo Junior way ain't my man either, but Cleo Hill Senior, his father.
Yes,
special.
Yes.
Yeah. Cleo Hill Senior. That's tough, man. Cleo Hill Senior. Let me think of another guard.
You want to add put yourself? That's fine too. I mean, that's on you. It's your squad. It's your squad.
Yeah, it's my squad. But you know, I played really the 2 years varsity. There was some other guys. You got Rob Cole and Orange. You got some great guards. Yeah, that's hard, man. I can't do that on the spot like this. You and I, we need a whole nother podcast for that conversation.
Yeah, I know. A couple of people said that.
Yeah, man. That's hard, man.
I know. Who's some of your bigs? We'll leave it on who'll be some of your bigs.
Marquise Bragg is up there. Marquise Bragg is definitely up there. Mark Bryant from Columbia is up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He dominated in his era. You know, I don't want to leave out any of the old school guys. You got Al Addles. You got all kinds of guys that's way before us, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Allah Abdul Nabi. You got at Bloomfield. He was dominant at Bloomfield. You know, you got it's tough, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Essex County was serious, man. Serious.
Absolutely.
Basketball. Yeah.
Who was your toughest opponent?
In high school?
At any level. Somebody you just like, you know what?
Any level. My toughest opponent playing was Rod Strickland, no question.
Okay.
He was tough to guard. Rod played in the Pro-Am League in East Orange. He played down the Jersey Shore. Mm-hmm. Rod was serious to guard. He was special. He was my toughest opponent, no question.
Yeah, I know. And definitely get overlooked with a lot of stuff here.
That's right. Yeah, Rod was serious. Yeah,
but he got his dodo and he's staying in the league and he's coaching. I don't know where he's coaching at now.
One program. He's been assistant. He was with Calipari.
He's with Kentucky for a minute, right?
He's not hurting for funds. That's for sure.
Now, what's the best part about being Marc Brown?
One thing I could say that I think is my best attribute is just kind of being lucky enough to be where I am, man. And like I touched on before, you know, I think I'm a real transparent person, but it's kind of I've been able to do exactly what I've wanted to do in my professional life. Like I told you before, going from basketball right into coaching, being able to play 15, 16 years overseas, coming into this program. I just completed my 15th year. Mm-hmm. This program has been in my family for 40 years because my father did 25 years here. So that's the best part, just kind of being able to do exactly what I've wanted to do as a professional.
Now, even with that being said, what would this Marc tell that senior year Marc? What advice would you give him?
Senior year in high school?
Yes.
Yeah, no, nothing. Just be yourself, like I've always been, man. Just I don't have nothing really complicated about me. Just keep fighting, and that's what I did. I could have easily just complained and put my head down and kind of when some of the major offers didn't come and when after Siena, when things didn't work out for me NBA wise, I could have easily just kind of shut it down. But I just kept fighting. So I would just tell myself, don't listen to other people. Just kind of show and prove every time you step on the court and off the court. Just do what you need to do, get done, and get to where you need to go.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And one bonus one: who's the best basketball player in your family? You or your brother, or Mr. Brown?
Oh yeah, that's tough too, man. My father, I don't know, man. My father was a better shooter.
Okay.
I'm definitely better.
Lefty too, right? Lefty,
yeah,
your father,
lefty
right?
Is lefty. Okay.
Yeah.
You did your research.
No,
yeah.
You know why I remember that? I remember that just because it's playing. I know I was a few years after you, but just in the summer leagues, he was a ref with Harry James and all them. So he used to be over there. So he'll shoot in between quarters or what have you. So, and I'm a lefty.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of obviously I'm mindful of the lefties here.
Yeah. My brother was a better athlete. My brother was a little bigger, a little taller. Mm-hmm. But out of me, my dad, and my brother, I'm gonna go with me, man. He's probably gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with me, man. He's a better shooter. I'm a better passer, better defender. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with myself, man. I'm gonna go with myself. He's gonna be pissed when he sees this, but sorry.
He'll be all right. He probably wouldn't expect anything because he would say, Marc, I gotta say, like I said, like when you jumped on, like I mentioned, just the fan moment. Like I said, I just remember being, again, like I said, I'm a few years younger, but just the stories and everything, just to hear, the Marc with the high top, you know what I mean? So I know, yeah, but I just remember just hearing the stories and then to actually see that game against Stanford and all just the whole aura of you, just everything, the showbiz, everything else. Like I said, I was just like, I'm just honored, one, to just sit here and talk to you, but I think also just hearing, just some of the stuff about you, stuff that obviously I didn't even know here, and the man that you've become, and just continue, obviously that whole family piece, whether it's with your father, continuing the legacy over there. Pardon me, I know I still say Jersey City State, so I apologize for So, but just to continue that legacy as far as that goes here, but also just creating a path of your own here, because it could easily got swallowed in your dad's shadow and your brother's shadow, but obviously creating your own mark, no pun intended, But I just think I just want to say thank you just for the memories you've given me, whether it's watching the television, whether it's newspaper, whatever, or just hearing some stuff that's out and about here, just about you and just how busy you got, man. Like I said, I really appreciate your time here, and I'm just, like I said, again, I'm trying not to get too fanned out, but I just wanted to say thank you. Like you being officially you, in some ways indirectly helped me be officially it. And I, like I said, just thank you. I mean, thank you, for all that you've done.
Appreciate what you're doing on this platform. Appreciate you giving me an opportunity to tell us a little bit of my story. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
No, definitely. Tell Ab I said what's up. Like I said, definitely. I got to grab him. I don't know if he camera shy, but I got a corner.
He'll be fine.
Cool. But definitely, Marc, be in touch. I know it's a small world somehow, some way here, and definitely this thing get come through, and you can have fans at these games here. I would love to just come down and just catch a game or two. All my people still there, moms, pops, everybody's still down that way. So I'll just love to just catch a game. You, Marquise, coach, and everybody. So I just love to just get down and just hang out.
Sound good. Don't hesitate to reach out. Peace and love to you, my brother.
Absolutely, Marc. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Peace. Good stuff. Got a nice little overview, just kind of who he was, things he's done, things he continued to do here, even with these kids. I mean, just how important that is. Just to continue that legacy and just continue to build, better people in this world here. So, Marc, I salute you, man. With that being said, I'm just going to slide out, put my hand over my heart. That means I feel you. Yeah.